Hello, Sandy. Can you give us some more information about this very special painting?
So this painting is called Sunlit Splendor, and it was actually a rose in one of my neighbor's yards, and I love the way the sunlight was hitting the flower at that time, and the bud. The bud is really important to me as well. And I loved creating this piece at the time. Like, it's almost like a nautilus shell, the way the circular motion in there. I love the sense of movement that creates. But the really cool part to me about this painting is not just the painting itself when it was created, but the life that this painting has had, because there's a film that I loved called The Red Violin, where the violin is this treasured instrument, but it ends up having a life of its own. And to me, this painting, I like it. It's come very close to selling on a number of occasions, and I thought, why has it not? And I realized that I think the reason is because this painting had to have its own adventure, and it has. It's had some very interesting lives. One of the lives is that it was in this painting was in a Hallmark film. It was in the artist's residence, the art dealer's residence, which I think is so cool. Isn't that appropriate? I mean, I felt like, okay, this was really an honor for this particular painting to have that. And it was also, I mean, it's been juried into a number of prestigious shows, which I was very happy to get it into. And then there was a big adventure that it had. There was a point where there was myself and another artist who were featured at Silk Gallery, which is not there now. And what happened is there was a big fire. The two of us were featured at this show, and the Silk Gallery was taking off and doing amazing. And the fire that happened, they were gorgeous wooden heritage buildings, kind of went up in smoke, and it stopped. The firemen reached there in time to save Silk Gallery. And what was happening is, for people to save the piece, any passerby that was going by was grabbing a painting and hauling it over to put it into it was like a, like a, I don't know what they're called, what are their storage? It was a storage container. And there's one photo because the newspaper guys got there pretty quick, and there was one photo of the gallery owner's daughter, who was like 8 months pregnant, and she had two paintings that she was marching along with. And the cool part is because of the heroic efforts of every passerby, the paintings survived this. I mean, it was a miracle. It was truly a miracle. And it was, I had a friend who lived in Vancouver and said, Sandy, I've been to your Silk Gallery and it was great and everything. She says, but I think you should watch the news right now. And I turned on the news, and there's billowing smoke, rising. And I'm going, oh, and for an artist, that is a nightmare, because when it's like a two-person show, there were at least 10 pieces that were in that show, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, that's at least 3 or 4 years worth of work that's going up in smoke. Well, it was a miracle because not one of the pieces went up in smoke. And it was kind of cool, because afterward, to thank all of the firemen for what they did, because it was a real heroic thing that they saved these paintings. The firemen were invited for a special when they reopened, and they were calling it the rebirth kind of thing. Anyway, when the firemen came to, they all came to be thanked, and as they were standing there, they got a call, and they were like, if you blinked, you would have missed them going out the door. And it was just a real testimony to me about how amazing the firemen were there. And then I had to go to this place called Phoenix in Vancouver, where there's all these restoration things that can happen. And I had to go in, and there were vaults that I had to walk through one vault after, and they're like, you know, like that thick. Boom, boom, you know, whoa. And then I got locked in a little room, and anyway, it was, you know, it was very minor scuffs and things like that, but really it was quite an experience in itself to do that. But it's been in the Coast Collective show. It was juried into the Sydney Fine Art Show, which is a prestigious show. It was selected as one of the pieces of the art gallery, does like an art rentals and whatever, and I was actually on the paid wall at the Victoria Art Gallery sponsor. So yes, it's had many lives, and so this painting is my red violin, and it would be very nice for it to have a permanent home. I think it deserves one, but we'll see.
Thank you, Sandy.